2035 to 2040, households will be a source of electricity for the grid. How will that happen? How will that happen? So households through SMEs would have solar rooftops. Okay. And with a smart grid, every time there's a deficit in the supply, the grid operator can actually draw supply from these households. So we do not need all these big power generators. Okay, so that's in 2035, 2040. But what we need to do is modernize the distribution utility companies. Right now, Meralco is the front runner for this. You know that with Meralco, you can actually have this post prepaid electricity. So you can apply for Meralco and say, okay, I'll pay 100 pesos, and if I consume the 100 pesos in terms of kilowatt hours, then I have to reload and pay again. So it's something like that. And you can only do this if you're connected with smart grid. It will come in the next 10 to 15 years. It will come in the next 10 to 15 years. And with the support of the SMEs, we can really do this.
You were mentioning about electric vehicles. Do we have this government project about eliminating already the jeepneys that are producing a lot of carbon emissions? Can you comment on this?
Under the promotion of EV modernization program, wherein they are trying to highlight the 15-year-old jeepney vehicles, converting it to Euro 4 or an e-vehicle or e-jeep. We are very supportive of that. In fact, the government sectors are highlighting on, instead of the Euro 4, they are insisting on the producing of the e-jeeps, because e-jeeps are locally manufactured by our member suppliers, and it creates job to people as well on establishing, producing an e-jeeps. And secondly, it's like this is the way on how we could be able to address demand on the e-vehicles. And we're looking at the venue of having a coordination from private sector to the government sectors, leading the way towards the direction of improving the laws, supporting the Senate Bill number 174 of Senator Gatchalian, highlighting it, elevating it on a marginal bigger scale and creating a demand. And we are very glad that together with the Department of Energy, who is very vocal also on supporting our advocacy on promoting the EV industry as per se.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much. We have another question.
Yeah, still on the e-vehicles. Since we have so much motorcycles nowadays, particularly in Metro Manila, do you foresee the direction of motorcycles being?
Actually, ma'am, just recently, last year actually, August, we were being confided by the Land Transportation Office on having establishing more profound influence on categories. We have to categorize the motorcycles, the e-vehicles that we saw up there, a lot of already. If we're going to consider how many e-vehicle users here in the Philippines, there were a lot. The only thing is that it is categorized on the e-bike or the e-trike that is on a smaller scale, that has to have a registration. You have to establish on on the proponents of the safety of the road users and even the pedestrians. That's why we are working with the LTO on this and addressing the concern that it affects the industry because the industry are looking on the confidence level of the market that it is reliable and it is very friendly to use, but on a certain basis that it has a provision or a systematic form of usage. Okay? Not all can be used of on a certain limited areas. As you imagine, the most highlighted one right now is the EKS. You know EKS is electric kick scooter. Now they are lobbying at the government sector to have a provision that they can be they can be permitted to make use on even on national highways, wherein it's a no-no. We have to limit themselves on a 30 kilometers range distance only, or the capacity of the controllers. And we have to escalate this on how we can provide discipline from the road, and mostly a lot of it are not oriented on how to make use of the roads. Now, on the second portion of what I want to mention is that even now the motorcycle manufacturers are going towards the direction of us being affiliated to them, meaning they are telling us already that they want to be a member of electric vehicles because actually 2-3 years ago, Honda already had 150 scooters or e-bikes in a certain island that they used as a feasibility with working with a cooperative of energy sector in Romblon. Now they have already finished the contract just recently, December, and it has a good reviews that they were able to make use of these e-scooters from within that didn't create any emissions.
Another question.
Right?
For Sir Dito.
Sige ma'am. Okay. Sige po. Go ahead.
Sir Dito. Yes. My question would be like for the exhibit no for Phil Energy, it is coming next year March no. Would you've been introducing a lot of like advanced technologies. I would remember there's the energy about water no, water fuel like with the Tesla. Can you comment on this?
What happened in the last show, that was last year, the renewable energy and energy efficiency show was co-located within the water show. So probably that's where you saw the exhibitors. We are the only organizer for water-based shows in the country, and what we did for the new show that we will launch in next year is we have split already, and we have spin off the energy portion of the show out of the water Philippines show, because we just thought that we would like to give it more focus, more emphasis on having an energy, and we also rebranded. But you can still probably see that exhibitor in the water show, which will be held back to back with the Phil Energy show.
Thank you so much. Can I ask Secretary Asset too? I was thinking about the Tesla water fuel, which was like demonstrated sometime in a conference. It was not demonstrated, it was like talk about in one conference. What can you say about the water fuel that can be used for vehicles or something?
I think what you're referring to is the hydrogen fuel.
Exactly. Tesla.
Hydrogen fuel, as far as I know, is a hybrid thing also. Because you need an internal combustion engine and the byproduct of this would be hydrogen. So it's just like the ordinary hybrid, wherein you have both batteries and an internal combustion engine. So that's how it works. But you still have to see it in commercial, in a commercial operation. So I recently asked one of the ministers in Japan for the heat, and they said that they are actually right now prioritizing the hydrogen cells. Hydrogen cells. But it has to be, has to be manufactured commercially. Yes. Yes, I have so many things to say about it, but I will not.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. We have another question from Miss Alice.
Yeah, I think this is addressed to Mr. Plaza. Regarding energy efficiency, of course you mentioned that the big projects like buildings, green buildings, and using LEDs. But on the consumer level, we're so familiar with inverter appliances like freezers, racks, air pumps. It's been how many years that inverter has been a very popular word among consumers? But it seems the pricing of appliances, as an example for air conditioners, the price of inverter air cons are about 50% higher. Or, no, 100%. So when can we expect, is there any move to actually make inverter appliances on the consumer level more affordable?
No, absolutely. Well, thank you for your question. The technology is always evolving, okay? So today we're talking about inverters and LEDs. 10 years from now, we will be talking about whole new technology, okay? And always the new technology will always be more expensive, but it's also, the talk about now is life cycle cost. If you are the one buying the appliance and you are also the one paying electricity, where will you save? So the question now is, how can a household solve the problem of upfront cash flow, right? Because in the end, if I buy an inverter, or if I buy LED lighting and it's 30, 40, 50% more expensive than the conventional technology, it will, how do I recover that eventually? So it's all about the cash flow. We know that it will be recovered, but some of them will not have the financial capacity at that moment of purchase to pay for the 30, 40, 50% differential. And this is where financing comes in, right? So if third parties come in, they would, I keep on mentioning the word ESCO, Energy Service Company. They do that for commercial and industrial establishments. The challenge now is how do we do that model for households? Many governments, including the Philippine government, like a decade ago, had this Palit-Ilaw program. So the objective of the Department of Energy then was to wash out all the incandescent bulbs from the country. At that time, it was not LED, it was still compact fluorescent plastic. So in Mexico, they were replacing refrigerators and window-type air conditioners with inverters under a government program. Maybe that model could be replicated. So it's just solving the upfront cash flow. Eventually, we know that the savings will be able to cover. Now, there's a second market mechanism. When the Department of Energy raises the energy performance standard, let's say it upgrades the standard or raises the bar, let's say every 2 years, every 3 years, it raises the bar. And then you wash out all the non-inverter gradually, or all the low efficiency appliances are washed out of the market. You know what will happen? The inverters now, because they're manufactured and imported in larger volume, the prices will go down. And that's exactly what happens to LED prices. That's what happened to solar PV prices in the last 10 years. So you can imagine LED lights, inverters, those prices will go down drastically. Why? Because there's a law. Then there are standards. Then it creates volume now. So law of supply and demand, prices will have to go down eventually.
Thank you very much, Sir Alex. Last question, please. Yes, sir.
Thank you. I'd like to come back to a conversation you had before on the nuclear. Did I understand that you're considering maybe a development in the nuclear energy? I didn't get it exactly, but are you considering to develop nuclear energy in the field? Yeah, but the question I have then is that due to Chernobyl event, and more recently in Japan, in the United States, the 3 Mills plants, in France, is half of its energy is coming from nuclear, actually. And they're looking at closing their plants, like Fegersign. It seems like the trend is going against the nuclear energy because of the safety problem. Can you comment this? Then the second question I have is regarding the development of batteries, which are not producing the full power, as you said before, but there's a lot of improvement and research going on. And I heard recently that the price of the batteries are going to go sharply down. If you can comment on that also. Thank you.
With regards to, let me give you a time frame on the 21 steps for us to be able to build a nuclear plant. These 21 steps actually will take us from 5 to 10 years. So in the very near future, we're not looking at nuclear power as one of the sources of power that we have here in the Philippines. So this will take us 5 to 10 years. It will take us another 2 to 3 or to 4 years to build a nuclear plant. Okay. So, but we have to consider this because, as I said, the present policy of the Department of Energy right now is to be technology neutral. And again, all of the stakeholders of the Department of Energy, we see as children. So we're the parents, all the stakeholders and children. But all of these stakeholders, we have an apple, has an apple of our eye. Guess who that is? The consumers. So the apple of the eyes of the Department of Energy are the consumers, which is one of the stakeholders of energy, right? What do I mean? So it has always been the dictum of President Duterte to take care of the consumers, right? So it's the apple of our eyes. So what we're going to do, what we're really pushing on is lower electricity prices, lower oil prices. And how can we do this? Through, proper choosing properly the power plants, regulating oil companies, regulating power plants, and all of this. Having policies, having laws, making business transactions with the government cheaper, so these are not passed on to the consumers. Right? So that's where we are right now. So I'm not too agaga about nuclear plants. We're just doing this because maybe there will be a shift again in the perception about nuclear in the next few years. And we don't want to get caught flat-footed just because of the recent developments that we have right now. And incidentally, if I may say so, of all the technologies in power, the safest is nuclear. Why do I say this? If we compare the deaths, the number of deaths, the number of dead persons affected by all of this technology, nuclear has the least number of deaths. For one reason or another, because it's highly, how do you call this? Highly secured, highly regulated. It's highly regulated. Imagine you have to go to so many steps in order for you to build and only manufacture batteries that would last for so long. China has broken through and they can manufacture batteries 20 times longer and much more cheaper than what is being. So, of course, we'll get into it. Actually, the Department of Energy has gone into a budget that we are going to spend and buy an electric bus in order for us to have a, how do you call it? Have a true experience on what an electric bus is. So we can promote it better. And of course, we want to have Ed as partner. Maybe they can source out a vehicle cheaper. We're willing to pay for it, but not on commercial prices, because we're going to use this as a standard. Right? So in next year, 2021, we'll be having electric buses, I presume, the Department of Energy. The Department of Energy has electric vehicles, purely electric vehicles. We have hybrid electric vehicles, purely hybrid electric vehicles, and we have plug-in electric vehicles. So we have all of these things. So if we say that this is good, we have actual experiences for this, and we would like to have that actual experience with electric buses.
Thank you. So very final question, Ms. Alice.
Yes, because the exhibit is still next year, what can we expect a year from now? What could we expect about the show for next year?
Well, that's why we have partnered with our supporting associations, RIA, PE2, we have EVAC, we also have the IIEE, who unfortunately cannot make it this morning. And we're expecting also some conferences, high-level conferences, technical seminars. We also had expert dialogue, just like.
Okay.
Holding hands not permitted anymore.
Yeah, one more please. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, nice.